Tonight, on the very first episode of the second season of Nerdherfers, we've got cigars, we've got whiskey, and we are going to nerd out about Star Wars Skeleton Crew. Hit that stinger!
This is a theme song.
We did it again.
Welcome back and Happy New Year, everybody. Oh my gosh, we are so happy to be back. We are the Nerdherfers. I am Larry Brantley. That is Micah Donahoe.
Greetings, programs.
And that is Brent Williams.
Hola.
And we are back with our second season. This is the first episode of the second season.
Can you believe it?
I actually can't believe it because we were on such a long hiatus that I thought we all forgot we actually did a podcast.
Yeah.
So Brent called like a week ago and said, hey, you know, we're still doing this, right? I was like, no, I didn't. That's awesome.
That's not true at all.
I'm so excited. It's not true.
I was going to come back and say, I really missed you guys, but I literally talked to you like almost every day.
Single day. Every single day. Are we back yet? Are we back? When are we coming back? Are we coming back yet? Anyway, wanted to let you guys know.
Yeah.
Wanted to let you guys know that it is ass cold winter here in North Texas right now. And for that reason, among many others, we are actually going to do our first 2 episodes of 2025 from a special location. We are here in Industrial Cigar Company in Frisco, Texas, which is one of our favorite lounges to hang out in. I want to thank everybody, and we'll get to those names a little later, for allowing us to be here tonight. But this is where we're going to be for our first 2 episodes of 2025. Super cool place, super nice people. If you ever get a chance and you're in Frisco, Texas, or you're even anywhere near the Dallas Metroplex, get over here and hang out. It's super fun. Now, for those of you who are turning in for the first time, welcome. That might be turning in. I said turning in, didn't I? I said turning in. Turning in for me usually means I'm going to sleep.
No, turning into the parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Dad.
All right.
For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, we are the Nerdherfers. This is how the show works. Every week, one of us brings a cigar to review, one of us brings a bottle of whiskey to try, and then we pick a subject that we are all just going to nerd out about. And this is our first episode of our second season. I can't believe we got here, and we've picked a beauty for you tonight. But there are a couple of things that we do before we get into the meat of the show, and the first one is Nerd News. It is last week's news. Did you do it again?
I didn't do it.
You didn't do it.
I was like excited that it was, season 2 Nerd News. So I was like,
there's that stinger. So exciting. Anyway, yes, it is season 2, first ep of Nerd News. And as always, we go to our broadcast desk and our special anchorman, Mr. Brent Williams. Brent, what nude nurse? What nude?
Yeah.
Nude
those
nurse?
Watching on video are in for a real treat.
Yeah, it's not a treat.
It's nude nurse.
It's that would be good, actually. If we did a segment called Nude Nurse, I think more people would tune in. But instead, it's Nerd News. What nerd news have you got for us at the start here of 2025?
Okay, this one is funny.
Okay.
So apparently
He
Marvel
says that.
Okay. So Marvel fans have actually had a say in a lot of stuff. Like, there were lobbies like to get Ryan to I call him Ryan, like we're best friends.
You are.
To get him to play Deadpool, so that worked.
There's that nice Ryan Reynolds boy from Canada?
Yeah.
He seems like a good guy.
Yeah. And then, they've lobbied for other characters in the franchise and stuff. Well, the latest one that fans are lobbying for, get ready for this. And let me tell you where this is coming from. So, Hugh Jackman is 56, I think.
He's old. He's oldish.
Yeah.
I'm older than him, but he's still pretty oldish.
Yeah. And Samuel L. Jackson is 76 or something like that. He's getting up there.
He is.
But basically all the current, and Chris Evans is like 43. He's I don't know if he's aging out.
He's got plenty of time.
Yeah. But basically they're saying, well, till he's 90.
Right.
But basically they're aging out and they're going to be doing more live action Marvel movies. So they're saying it's time to let new people come in and do that. Sure. So one of the people they're lobbying to get to play a character in X-Men and the next live action X-Men movie is the Rogue character, which we all know and love.
Yes.
But you'll never guess who they want to play that.
I don't know this.
Yeah.
No idea.
Miley Cyrus.
No. Oh. No.
Yeah.
And
Should
also,
it be though?
no.
Yeah.
Should it really be?
No.
Somebody
It should not.
said, and they said this as a compliment, her voice sounds like a dirty ashtray.
I don't disagree with that statement. I just don't. I can think of a few other actors that I think would do a much better job than Miley Cyrus. Because if like my daughter, who's 21 and a huge Marvel fan, would look at that casting and go, I don't want to watch Hannah Montana playing Rogue.
Right.
So,
well, and that's what most people are saying because of her Disney background and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I was perfectly happy with Anna Paquin.
I was too. I thought she did a great job.
But she's obviously aged out. You got to find somebody new now.
Yeah.
Well, is she aged out though?
Oh,
I mean, she was pretty young when she was doing that, wasn't she?
Yeah, but
that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
It was.
All right. Well, okay. So, we always do like mad scientist, crazy robots going to take over the world and kill everybody stories. So another one, China is going to have a half marathon. It's going to include 12,000 human runners and then robots from over 20 Chinese companies.
So the robots are going to run a half marathon.
Yes.
No, they're going to run over the humans.
I was just going to say,
they all have giant treads.
yeah,
They're like tanks. It's going to mow over
It's
people.
just one big smear across the thing. I don't know why the race was like 20 minutes.
And the funny thing is they're giving prizes to the top 3 winners.
Oh my gosh. You mean the robots that win?
Yeah.
this oil bath is going to feel so good.
Especially after it smears. Because 20 minutes is exactly how long it takes to smear 12,000 people across pavement.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
All right. Well, the next one. This one's kind of cool. It's very cool, actually. So MIT has designed a small flying insect robot, right?
Oh, boy.
It's lighter than a paperclip.
Okay.
And it can fly for 1,000 seconds, which is roughly 16 and a half minutes, which is like 100 times longer than anyone has been able to get one to fly before. But the purpose of this bot is to do artificial pollination. So like in places where like the bee population is declining,
Oh my gosh.
they can deploy these things to like do pollination and stuff.
Okay, that's
That
actually kind of cool.
Makes me very happy.
Yeah.
And as long as they're not attaching stingers to these things.
Right. That'd be really funny.
You know?
And pheromones and stuff.
Yeah.
No, it'll have that laser like Yellow Jacket from Ant-Man, and anytime like a wasp or something comes over and it's like being all bully, it just goes, and all of a sudden nobody's getting stung by wasps
Well, you know
anymore.
what would be even cooler than that? Don't kill off the bees.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just
yeah.
saying.
Of course, we've been trying not to do that for a really long time.
Right.
well,
So anyway.
yeah,
All right. Well, that's all.
Well, that is fantastic, and that does it for this week's episode of Nerd News. It's last week's news today. You've already heard all this stuff, but you hadn't heard our take on it, so there you go.
Michael's back.
Hey, because it's 2025 and we're wanting to do some new things, we've got a brand new bit that we're going to do that I just want to say at the outset was not my idea at all.
So if it sucks,
I can't quite remember whose idea it was, but I will say that I hope it's successful. And if it's not, send all your hate mail to my left and to my right.
and if you love it, it was Larry's idea.
It
Yeah.
100% was my
exactly.
idea. And we call this...
The greatest joke in the world.
That's right, the greatest joke in the world. This is the Nerdherfers tribute to dad jokes everywhere. Here's how it's going to work. Every week, we are going to pick one. Each of us is going to pick one dad joke.
There's so many.
The object is to see if we can get each other to crack on the dad joke. Now, there are no consequences at this stage because we're just doing this for the first time tonight. There may be down the road, like maybe you have to do a shot.
Rock-
maybe
Rocktown.
of rock. Yes, of Rocktown.
We'll
Yes.
bring out the Rocktown again. It'll sit on there.
Sorry,
as
that activated my
punishment.
gag reflex. Or something. But that's basically what we're gonna do. I have no idea how this is gonna go. But everybody get your dad jokes out.
I've got mine.
And since it wasn't my idea, I will go last. So which of you nerds would like to go first?
I'll go
Take it.
first.
You'll go first?
All right.
All right. Hang on. Let me get ready here. All right. Hit me.
I was at a job interview the other day, and they asked me if I could perform under pressure. And I said no, but I do a pretty good Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's actually pretty good. Because in my mind, I was like, ding, 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 bing, bing.
Micah was laughing on the inside. I saw it.
Did you sir it?
I saw it.
Did you sir it?
I saw what you were doing over there.
I was born on Freddie Mercury's birthday, so I felt it right here.
Oh, wow. You sure that wasn't indigestion?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
I don't know. Ask my mother.
I don't know. All right. Micah?
All right.
All right, here we go.
So this is a two-parter, but it's short.
So is it?
But it's too short. Okay. All right.
Oh, wow. I'll solve it.
Ready? Two cannibals are eating a clown. One looks at the other and says, "Does this taste funny to you?" Two clowns are eating a cannibal. One looks at the other and says, "I think we got this joke wrong."
Part 1 was better, I think. Part 1 was better.
Well, that's because that was the classic one.
Yeah,
Lost faith in humanity.
That is.
Wow. I don't know if this is a good idea.
I think it'd be funnier if we had consequences. I think we'd work on this much harder if there were actual consequences.
Well, okay.
All right.
Here goes.
Your turn. Go on.
Why do rodeo cowboys make terrible sexual partners? Because they think 8 seconds is a long ride. Yeah, okay, we may not be doing this ever again. I don't know. I think this is one of those things
Nobody
where,
actually wants to laugh.
where Drunk and Drunker probably was
Yeah.
like, yeah, we should totally do that.
Oh.
You know
Dad
what?
jokes,
Here's
it'll
what
be
we do.
great.
Here's
You
what
know
we do.
what?
Next time we do it at the end of
End
the
of the
episode.
episode. I was
End of the
thinking the same
episode?
thing.
Before we're done, we'll do end of
Yes.
episode.
When there's plenty of whiskey in our
When
bodies.
we've
Yes.
got the whiskey going.
Yeah.
So
And the
what you're
rock
saying
down in the
is we should not do this segment sober.
Right.
Okay, fair. So we will do this segment.
What is fun
next-
sober? Name one thing that's fun sober.
Yeah,
I got nothing. I got nothing. But that's going to do it for the very first episode of
It's the greatest joke in the world.
which it totally wasn't, but maybe next time. All right. Okay, boys.
That is me.
Let's
Nice.
get into the first episode of 2025 with the cigar that we're going to have this evening. And if memory serves, it's Micah Donahoe's turn, which, by the way, Micah does the calendar for the show. So the only reason I know at all that it's Micah's turn to do cigars is because he basically did the calendar for the entire year. And I check it 3 minutes before we start recording.
And then Micah walks in.
Because
and goes,
otherwise I'm
"Here's
just
what's-
like, what are we
here's
doing?
what's happening."
All right, what do we got, Micah?
All right, so I'm kind of excited about this one because here at Industrial, I noticed a cigar up on the wall that I really wanted to try the last time I was here. And so now that I've seen it, I was like, this is perfect because I don't know what the flavor profiles are going to go with the whiskey, but excited nonetheless.
All right.
All right, so this cigar, I'm going to give you the stickies. And
I think I recognize the band.
Don't look.
Please don't put it under your armpit. That's a terrible idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and don't chub it either.
All right, so get this. This is the Crux Epicure Maduro. Smooth and heavy like a 57 Chevy.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Did they write that or did you write that?
I didn't write that.
Okay.
But on the website, they had a paragraph on here that I really enjoyed. I wanted to share with people. So it says, built for the bold and brave in the original. With colors reminiscent of a 1957 Chevy Bel Air, the Epicure Maduro invokes an element of Americana and nostalgia to provide old-school luxury. This is the pure embodiment of when timeless flavors collide with raw imagination, making for a vintage-inspired and seriously smooth collection.
Bold, brave, and what was the third one?
Inspired.
Yeah.
That leaves all of us out.
Yeah.
I don't think we can actually smoke this cigar.
All right, I'm going to pass this down.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Here you go.
Thank
This has a San Andreas Maduro wrapper, Yay! Which is my favorite. Binder is Nicaraguan, and the filler is Nicaraguan. The size is a 5x50 Robusto.
It's actually a 54.
Is it?
Actually,
According to the label.
what a freaking nerd thing to say.
It's a
Oh,
5.
yeah. It's a
Actually-
5.75 by
actually-
54.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Yeah.
Our apologies.
You have to make sure the paragraph coincides with the actual cigar.
Right.
Yeah. That's too much work, though.
It's a lot of work. All right.
I love how we're just throwing our wrappers on the
Ooh,
ground.
season 2. Season 2.
The I like the
Yeah,
sky
by the way,
blue.
what's the update on the season 1 mug wrappers?
Oh, yeah. So I haven't started it just yet, but I'm going to get right on that, boss. I'm going to get right on that, Rose. If anybody knows that movie.
He's totally not. All right, I'm going to do a cold draw
Wrapper
on this
came
real
off really
quick.
Nice.
Ooh, boy. Lots of cocoa there.
Yeah. And that wrapper. Look at that
It's
wrapper.
sweet. It's almost a little sweet.
That's so pretty.
It's so pretty.
I don't want to smoke it. It's so pretty.
Oh, no, we're
I'm
going to
gonna
smoke it. Yeah.
I'm going to smoke it.
Well, I like that.
Yeah,
like
there's a sweetness.
espresso coffee bean in there.
It's like a mocha espresso mocha at Starbucks.
So it's actually on the box, but I'm going to go ahead and agree with it. It's actually they advertise a molasses.
You know
maybe
what? I can see that.
Yeah, I could see that for the sweetness.
Yeah.
I like it.
Slow like molasses in wintertime.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Toast, and we have to toast the right end, not the end you cut.
Yes. Which will be on our Cigar 101 shorts.
Which I've done more than once. I'm ashamed to admit.
Well, Micah, I'm just going to say good choice. I'm digging on it. All right, there.
Ooh.
So the sweetness falls away immediately for me, and I get this nice sort of toasted bread mouthfeel. It's got a linger to it that is really pleasant.
It's kind of woody.
Yes, yes, and yes. Woody
Oh
bread.
my goodness!
Woody bread.
Like you spilled some
Woody
wood
bread.
shavings in your bread dough.
Hey, Siege of Leningrad. That's what they ate. Sawdust bread.
Definitely the
Wait,
cocoa.
line from which movie? They live off rats and sawdust bread and sometimes each other.
I don't know this one.
Red Dawn, baby.
Oh, see, I didn't have
Red Dawn. Powers Booth
I was
telling
gonna say,
stories.
that sounds like a Powers Booth line.
It's very much a Powers Booth line.
All right.
Well, this is a great start. Now, let's see. Whose turn was it to bring the bottle? Oh, yes, that's right. It was Brent's turn.
Well, I mean, if it's not you and it's not Micah brought cigars, I mean, it's pretty obvious.
I don't know.
Being all sneaky about it and stuff, but whatever.
Whatever.
Well, so I brought a single malt Scotch.
Yes.
It's a 12-year.
All right.
Yes.
You may know it. Its nickname is the Golden Dram.
Ooh, I knew this one.
Yeah.
I don't know this
I'm familiar with
So
that.
the reason they call it the Golden Dram is it is made in a distillery that draws its water from a stream that feeds off the river. I'm going to say Tay because I'm a Yank.
Okay.
What's the Scottish way of saying Tay?
Spell it?
T-A-Y.
Tay.
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 Okay. But anyway, so in that river during the 1800s, that's where the prospectors, it has natural gold deposits. So they would pull gold out. They'd go and, pan for gold and stuff. So anyway, this got nicknamed the Golden Dram. So 12 years. Move my mic, excuse me.
Let's go.
It's the Aberfeldy.
Aberfeldy.
12 year.
Ooh.
Hey,
So I'm excited about this one actually.
that's good
Gee.
stuff right there.
So the this is 80 proof. The tasting notes on it say the palate's not overly complicated. It's actually a kind of a basic palate, but it's very rich in flavor.
Okay.
And I forgot to undo the
That's okay.
wrapper.
We're going to
beforehand.
get to the
That's
most
okay.
important sound
Yeah.
here.
The anticipation, the build up to this
Yeah.
moment. You got to have
So,
a little bit of foreplay.
I have had. I will ask you. Have you ever had the Aberfeldy 12-year before?
have not.
Okay, so this is a. Hang on. Let's get the magic sound.
Here we go.
Oh, what a way to start the new year!
Lovely.
Right.
I will say
Glasses,
that
please.
I have had. Yes, let's do Mr. Micah first, and then we will pass that down and pass it around.
Thank you.
I will say that I've had
generosity.
many bottles of this Scotch, and what I love about the Aberfeldy is it is definitely what I would call a good starter Scotch for people who are just getting into Scotch whiskeys, and you're looking at single malts. This is a great one to start with. The price point's good, and it's got all the classic notes of a single malt Scotch. If I'm not mistaken, this is going to be a Speyside Scotch as well. Or at least they call it a Highland single malt. I'm not 100% sure if the Aberfeldy is actually in Speyside.
It's a Highland.
Okay.
I tried to get our producer to share a glass with us, but apparently he's too good to drink with us. So
well. Okay. Well, let's give it a little nose, boys.
Oh, not too much ethanol.
No, not at all.
It's
It's
only
what
80 proof.
80 proof.
It's 80 proof, yeah.
Yeah. So you're not going to get.
I wasn't saying anything for
you're not
Rocktown.
Oh, my nose here.
It was a chemical fire.
that's just never going to die.
Nope.
All right, I'm going in.
All right,
So
me
it's
too.
very light and dreamy.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Honey, spice.
honey,
Yes.
spice, apples.
Yeah, super light.
I'm getting floral, like meadow, like fresh cut grass on on a spring day. And there's a
The
wee
wee lass.
girl. She's running through the fields.
She trips over a rock.
She falls
I
down.
laugh at it
And there's
hysterically.
blood everywhere.
It's fantastic.
That's your tasting notes on the Aberfeldy 12 year.
Well, that went dark fast. I mean, it was like, dang.
Yeah. No need to ask where we'll go given the opportunity.
This, I would say, is an excellent daily drinker.
oh,
This
yes.
is it's so good.
Because it's light enough. It's 80 proof. It's got great flavor. And just like I read, it's not overly complicated, but the flavor is rich in it.
Yeah, and it's a really good flavor too. I mean, and for people that have an aversion to Scotch, this is not one of those that will turn you off.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I mean, if you've had one of those Scotches that just burned you out, or the rye was heavier, or the peaty was too peaty.
That's it. The biggest complaint people get with Scotch is they start with the wrong one, right? They typically, they'll make a mistake because they're familiar with names like Lagavulin and Talisker and Bruichladdich and whatever. And it's, those are all Islay Scotches and they're super peaty. The very first time I had Scotch, it was a Lagavulin 16 year. And the guy who gave it to me was very honest. He said, it's like smoking a chimney. And he was right. And so I stayed away from Scotch for a really long time because of that, because I thought that's what all Scotches were.
This just pairing it with a cigar turned it into an apple bread.
Yeah.
Like a deep, dark brown sugar apple bread.
Have you ever had like an apple fritter that wasn't super sweet but had nice chunks of apple in it?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what it is.
Yeah.
Hard to find these days, too.
We are, go to any German bakery and they will make it for you. But you got to go to the real Germans, not the fake ones.
You got
Yeah,
to drive
this-
all the way down to Fredericksburg.
Yeah, this pairing is really, really nice. I really like. I feel like I'm having breakfast.
I love it when a plan comes
So
together.
have this for breakfast.
Yes. As responsible adults with an audience, we endorse having cigar and Scotch for breakfast. Well, listen, we've got our cigar. We've got the Crux Epicure. We've got this delicious Aberfeldy 12 year. And now it's time for the first topic of 2025. Let's
do it.
We are going to nerd out tonight about the brand new show from the Star Wars universe on Disney Plus. It's called Skeleton Crew.
Yes.
Now, I will tell you that I think the first of us to start watching this was this man right here, Mr.
sir.
Micah Donahoe. And
Or maybe actually, I think Brent watched the first.
Did you?
episode.
Were
I
you
saw it
first?
yeah.
Okay.
I watched
all
it. I was like 3 episodes in, I think, before Mike started.
Oh,
Okay.
but Micah gave me the elevator pitch that got me to watch the show.
because my elevator pitch did not work. Micah was like, actually, I think we talked about it on one episode.
Did we?
Or maybe it was after hours. I don't know.
I think it was an after hours.
but I mean, you asked me about it, and I'm telling you, and you're like, you're not selling me on it.
I know it was just and they've released a lot of Star Wars series, and I remember like when I first got into Andor, for instance, it was like the first 3 episodes that they released all at once. They did not capture me, and I was like, do I really want to keep going? I'm already 3 hours in.
Yeah.
Now this was different.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there watching this show, and I'm seeing severe parallels to the
Goonies. Yeah.
This, my friends, if you were ever a Goonies fan, this Star Wars series was made for you.
Can we just call it Space Goonies?
We can call it
I think we should call it Space Goonies at this point. So real quick, if you've never seen the show, let me give you a brief rundown on the premise. No spoilers here. We want our people to watch this show because it's
gonna
definitely
it's over. They can go watch the whole thing.
Well, that's true.
So if they haven't watched it by now, they're lost. There's gonna be
Stop
spoilers.
here. Go stream. Come back.
Yeah, pause the show. Go do your business. And
Here's the premise of the show. The show centers around 4 kids. So right away, Goonies-esque, right?
Yep.
They live on a planet that at the first we don't kind of know what's going on, except that it's very humdrum. Everybody's got a corporate job.
Yep.
Everybody's dressed drably.
structured society.
All of these kids think there's got to be something better out there. And then the central protagonist is this kid named Wim. W-I-M. Sounds a lot like whim. Coincidence? I think not. Anyway, Wim has it in his mind that he doesn't want to be a statistician or a worker drone. When he grows up, he wants to be a Jedi. Now, his friend, his best buddy, tries to Neil, I think, right?
Yep.
Tries to get him out with the program because all these kids have to get assessed and whatever, and this is what you're going to do for the rest of your life in a boring position. And then you've got these two young ladies who are sort of the rebels that they wind up being friends with. But eventually, Wim thinks he discovers a Jedi temple. It turns out to be a derelict ship that then comes to life, has a droid in it named
SM-33.
SM-33,
badass
voiced brilliantly by our favorite Brit, Nick Frost. And then the
what's
ship...
awesome about it is he's got a pirate accent.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And then, so with the kids on board, the ship just takes off into space. And now you've got 4 kids who know nothing about ships and nothing about droids and nothing about space, hurtling through space. And that's where the adventure begins.
Yeah, they find all kinds of different obstacles that they have to get through to, meet their final destination. And it's just a complete pirate adventure. And I'm sitting there watching the parallels between this because Goonies is very near and dear to my heart. So, yes, good times.
And we should say that the main antagonist in the show is a character called Jodna Nawood, played brilliantly by Jude Law.
He did such a fantastic
Did a
job.
great
Oh my
job.
gosh, yeah.
It's one of those ones where we're constantly asking ourselves, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy?
Well, so
is he somewhere in between?
I don't want to get ahead of it, but to be honest with you, Jude Law was the reason I started watching that show.
Oh, mine too.
And I don't know if I would have kept watching the show if it didn't have Jude Law in it.
I would have.
Because
Only the story just kept getting better and better as
well,
the
it did,
episodes
but I
progressed.
think part of that story is Jude Law's
Oh,
character.
yeah, you had to have that hook.
I mean,
for
I
sure.
think you have to have that. And I'm not saying Jude Law playing the part. I'm saying if Jude Law's character was not in the show,
Right.
where you didn't have that,
Right.
that part
And
of
what
it.
I love about the way they slowly revealed his character was at the very beginning, we actually start to wonder, did Wim find his Jedi?
Right.
Yeah.
Because he seems to be able to do Jedi-esque things.
Yeah,
He
he's
can
more
move
sensitive.
things.
Yeah.
But then we also but wait a minute, is that a trick? Is it is he playing us somehow?
Yeah.
So we just don't know until the later episodes, and it's revealed his backstory a little bit.
So the reason I love this series, like it took me a few episodes to just like absolutely fall in love with it, right? And what I love about the show is it checks all the boxes. Like this is one of the best. I mean, Andor's been my favorite show that they've put out.
It's very good.
I mean, it's so good.
Not
I can't
the
wait
first
for
3
season 2.
episodes.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I
was
thought
gonna
you
say,
weren't.
It
keen
takes a
on
while to get
Andor.
into it.
No, the first
Right.
3 episodes suck, but once you get to the 4th and
Well,
on,
Tell
the
us how
first-
you really
so
feel,
good.
Micah.
The first
Some
3
of the best
episodes-
writing that
yeah.
I'd seen in a Star Wars
I mean, the
series.
first 3 episodes still have good writing. It's just like it's basically world building and character building and stuff.
Yeah,
It's-
that's true.
right, and getting you into that. And that's kind of how this was for me. The first 3 episodes. I was
Good.
kinda like,
I'm glad that you came on board.
Yeah.
After a while, because I got to the second episode and I was like, oh my gosh.
Well,
Space Goonies.
I
And
have
then
to
the text
be,
goes, it's Space Goonies.
I will tell you that is what got me to watch the show. He sent us a text late one night and said it's Space Goonies, and he didn't even reference Skeleton Crew. I knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
So I started that night.
Awesome.
I was like, my wife was like, "What are you doing? We're in bed." I'm like, "I have to get up now.
Yeah.
I have to
I have to
work.
go upstairs to the big TV. I have to work. It's research, damn it."
So this show checked all the boxes for me, right?
Oh.
So
What are the boxes?
Well, you had the kids who knew there was something better out there, a la Luke Skywalker in the first Star Wars. Okay, right?
Yep.
The writers did brilliantly in tapping into the nostalgia of the older Star Wars fans,
Yes.
right? You have the character of Jude Law. It's like you think you know what's going to happen with this guy, and it doesn't happen. And you're like, what the heck? How'd they actually pull that off? Which just made me even love it even more.
And what Jude Law did with
Yeah.
the character was just so brilliant. I had to ask myself a couple times. I was like, am I watching this because I'm just a big Jude Law fan?
Yeah.
Or is he really doing such an amazing job?
No, he was amazing.
Because he had
also
range. He was actually like, he wasn't Dumbledore. He was
Right.
He was this new character. And I was really digging
Well,
it.
and the other thing too is, so the writers actually worked really closely with Dave Filoni because this story is in the same time frame and universe as Mandalorian.
yeah, so it's approximately 5 years after
Right.
Return of the Jedi.
Right. And it's about, this is when the New Republic is coming up and
Yep.
the problems they're having, enforcing the
X-Wings are all cops.
Yeah, X-Wing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, a matter of fact, there's a character in this story, and we meet him. So, in the second episode, called "Way Beyond the Barrier," they go to the pirate colony because the ship they're on is programmed to take them to the pirate colony, right?
Right.
And so they get there and they step out, and it's all these pirates and stuff. They start flashing out their Republic Daitari is actually what they are. The Republic Daitari, but they call them credits and stuff. And the pirates see them because the kid's like, "I want this," and the guy puts it on the counter and he just dumps them on there. Is this enough? You know? And of course the pirates see him and they're like, put that stuff away. So anyway, we meet a character called Vane, right? Mm-hmm. He's the kind of, you know, horned lizard looking guy. Yep. Well, he was in Mandalorian. I don't know if you remember this. When Navarro, when the pirates came to attack Navarro, and Din Djarin was out, you know, flying his new cool scooter plane out there, and he had to run in with the pirates. Well, Vane was one of those pirates. He was on Pirate King Gorian Shard's crew, right? Okay. So apparently he's jumped to a new crew now because now we have that crew led by
not
Brutus.
Uncommon in the pirate world.
Yeah, you know, there's no loyalty. I don't know what. I mean, come on.
No, you get a better contract.
It's like
no
you mess up one
thieves.
time and they just go somewhere else. You know.
Well, so one of the things I wanted to do, in keeping with the parallel of Goonies, one of the things I love about when a show that centers around the protagonists are children, one of my favorite things is when every kid brings something special to the party. Yeah.
Yes.
Right? And so I just kind of wanted to run that down for you guys if you're still on the fence about watching this. So Wim is our central protagonist. He's played by a young actor called Ravi Cabot-Conyers, and Wim is our dreamer. He is the guy who first, you know, he's the young man who first thinks, like you see him, he's playing with his action figures. He is dreaming of a life outside of this small area where he lives and thinks he is consigned for the rest of his life. He really, really wants to be a Jedi. He's our dreamer. His best friend is called Neil, voiced by a young kid called Robert Timothy Smith. And Neil is sort of the heart of the group, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
He is the one that is always looking out for people, but he's also like cautious, like, should we be doing? I don't know, this is a good idea. Yeah. But ultimately he's going to back his buddy's play. And so he's the heart of the group. Then you've got the techie, who's called KB, and she's played by Kiriana Cratter. And she's actually got some tech built in. So there's an undisclosed accident and she has to wear this visor sort of headpiece. And so she's got some electronics in her that allow her to do some cool things.
She's augmented.
Yeah, like interfacing with the pirate ship and learning fast how to fly stuff.
Yeah, very cyberpunk.
And then you've got the rebel, Fern, played by Ryan Kira Armstrong, and she's the biker chick.
Yeah.
The one who, you know, she's a good girl when she goes home to her mom, who's a political figure and very important. But as soon as she gets out, you know, she gets rid of her school uniform. She puts on a leather jacket. She jumps on her scooter speeder, and she's so that's what one of the things that hooked me, honestly, from the first episode. Yeah, was I could immediately see the parallels and go, okay, everybody's bringing something to the party. All of these skills and talents and empathies are going to be important later, and it was really cool to see them all pay off.
Yes.
That I absolutely love that in a show when you sort of can see how, and of course, you know, they're antagonistic toward each other at the beginning, and you know, and they pair off, and then there's, you know, then one goes off on their own, and but ultimately they all come together.
Which, by the way, I have to interrupt just for a second, which was really, really cool, is that they didn't just spend 1 or 2 episodes getting to know each other and then all of a sudden best friends. It almost took the entire show to get to a place where they were really, really best friends.
Right.
Well, because Fern
they went through so much together.
Fern calls claimsies on the new ship, so she becomes captain right away. So her and Wim are always at odds about, you know, what decisions and what to do and stuff.
And then unclaimsies.
Yeah.
But then there's a point about, you know, toward the end of the series, or maybe it's about the midway point, where, you know, Wim and his best buddy Neil, they disagree and they split off. Yeah. And so Neil goes with Fern, and Wim is with KB. Right. And so now you're wondering how this dynamic plays out, because now our heroes are separated. They're not working together. How's this going to work out? You know? And I love that dynamic.
I did too.
So there's a whole, I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's a whole like, what's it called?
Come on, use your words.
The Nick Cage movie where he's looking for the Declaration of Independence.
National Treasure.
National Treasure. There's a whole National Treasure vibe going on when they're going to the different places and they're having to figure out all the clues and the puzzles and stuff.
Yes.
Like when they go into the treasure room and I forgot how everything works and they find that table and that's how they escape. You know, they go through the floor and stuff. I mean, yeah.
That very much reminded me of the Goonies being on the pirate ship.
I am having the hardest time like staying silent while you guys are talking about the different characters and the things that they're going through. And it's like, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, because Wim is Mikey.
Oh, yeah. And all he was missing was an inhaler.
Oh, I know. Exactly. And what was her name? KB? KB is Data.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
Kiwi Kwan. Yep. Love you.
Fern is Mouth. Corey Feldman.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
But she's smarter than Mouth.
Definitely smarter than Mouth.
I mean, let me just make this absolutely clear.
Women
This
are smarter
show
than
is-
men. That's what he was going to say.
This show is not Goonies, but
No.
the parallels are so much
There are-
fun
there are
for
good
people that
yeah.
grew up with Goonies.
Yeah.
That you see those kind of wonderful parallels. Now, the only thing that I couldn't pigeonhole was Neil.
Yeah.
Neil is kind of a combination,
Chunk.
or Martha Plimpton's character.
Yeah.
Well, I could see that as
Yeah.
a mashup.
Loyal,
I think that
brings the group together.
yeah. But Hart.
Yes.
That's why, like, if Neil were in the Goonies, he'd be the one that's to say you're going to come live with me now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He would be the one to say
He
that.
would.
Yeah.
So he's
yeah,
got some chunk in him.
yeah. He's definitely got the heart of Chunk.
Yeah.
Yep. And Jude Law's character, honestly, I thought in the beginning, before he starts to reveal kind of who he is, I totally thought he was Brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Brolin's character.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
Because he was kind of leading him along. He's
Yeah.
keeping him.
He's older.
He's older.
Yeah.
He's trying to structure things a little bit. But,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he has an agenda, but,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, so one of the things that happens throughout this series, and they trick you because we've been trained by other series like this, that everyone tells them, watch out for him. He's not a good person. Right? And you're like, oh, that's just a character he's playing. At the end, he's going to come along and be a good person.
And he's got a different name with
Yeah.
every single
Yeah.
person that you
Oh my
meet.
God, that was so
Wasn't
good.
that
Yeah,
great?
so funny.
Yeah, everywhere he goes, he's got a different name.
But then you get to the end of the series, and he's not. He's
No.
still the bad guy.
He's still the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, if Jadna Nawad were here right now, you know what he want to know? About the first third of this cigar.
He would.
Oh, you did it.
I did it.
That was
Oh
so
my
good.
gosh. One day I'm going to get one of these and it's going to work. But it's like, no.
So let's talk about the first third of this Crux Epicure.
Super creamy. I'm
The
getting
mouthfeel
creamy.
is nice,
Yes,
right?
the draw in this is so amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, the draw.
I love it when I don't have to work very hard.
I know. Rich. I mean, seriously, you can take such a light draw off of this and enjoy a full flavored it.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Somebody asks, "What do you like most about a cigar?" And my answer is always lack of effort.
You know what? We laugh, but that's a really, really good. That's a really good
If
standard
I'm
to have.
hyperventilating, then it's probably too hard of a
Well,
draw.
Yeah, I'm sitting here going,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh, this sucks."
I've had to relight once already, but that's my fault because I keep putting it down because
Because you want to talk about
I'm
Skeleton
wording,
Crew.
I'm
you're
wording a lot.
excited.
I'm wordsing so much.
wording
I'm
so much.
wordsing.
Yeah.
I'm wordsing so hard right now. Yeah, so I agree with you on the mouthfeel. The sweet is almost completely gone for me. I am getting a little
Yeah.
bit of baker's chocolate at this point,
Yeah.
but it's that nice toasty, sort of breakfasty feeling that I'm getting.
Hell yeah.
I think, like in the 70s, we could totally have made this part of your balanced breakfast. We'd have this
Along with some
lit
sugar pops.
and some sugar pops and a glass of orange juice,
Hanging out
and
with
a
Tony
piece
Montana.
of toast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and a mound of cocaine over to the side.
Say hello to my little friend.
Say hello to my little friend.
My not so little friend right
Hey,
now, but a little
I'm
later.
Tony Montana. You know when I eat breakfast, yeah, I like to stick my face in a mountain of cocaine.
That's right.
A comically tall mountain of cocaine.
Oh my gosh.
Would you like some more?
Yes.
sir?
Yes.
Also known as the worst accent ever in a movie.
Oh, 100%. It was so bad.
you, sir.
I think even Pacino said it was bad.
Oh yeah.
Would our producer like a dram of this? Okay, now he's going to do it because
Ladies and gentlemen.
because I called him out the first time. Now he's going to grab it.
Yeah.
Mr. Chris Hockenberry is going to step in here. It's okay. You can get in front of the camera. We don't care. There we go.
No, you're blocking the shot. Get out.
Oh my God!
shut
What
up.
are you doing?
Shut up. Let the man cook.
Yeah. That's right.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Yeah.
sir.
And thank you for everything you've done to set us up for success
Definitely.
tonight.
Thanks, Chris.
We're going to screw it up, but you did great.
How are your editing skills?
Oh my God. And then it really went downhill. Well, okay, so let's talk about where within the Star Wars universe of television shows and movies and whatever, because we've seen them all. We are all unabashed, unapologetic Star Wars nerds.
Yep.
We've all seen front to end Skeleton Crew. Where would we place this in terms of quality of writing, performance, overall story? How do you think this places?
Under Andor.
Under Andor.
under Andor and tied with first season of Mandalorian.
Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, nothing.
That's strong.
There's nothing going to beat Andor for me right now.
Okay.
We'll see how season 2 plays out, but but I mean, it's great writing. I mean, it's finally they brought the whimsical back. They brought the adventure.
Yes.
I mean, holy crap! It's all about pirates.
Yeah, it's the stuff that really
so
grabbed
great.
you as a kid.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it was the reason why we're so enthralled with the show in the first place.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They checked all the boxes because little kids that are watching the show are going to love it because it's little kid, and the stakes are never too high, right? Like the kids get in very bad situations, but they find a way out, and their life is in danger. I'm gonna put in air quotes because it never. I mean, there's always something that's going to save them.
Right. I mean, there was obvious danger, but they weren't going to
So
get into
it plays well for younger audiences, but it also just grabs the nostalgic cojones of all the Star Wars fans. Right?
Definitely. And one of the things
Nostalgic cojones.
that's a really good expression.
That is, yeah. What are you saying, bud? Third? Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Okay.
Obi-Wan.
I got to
Okay.
agree with our producer on this one.
Obi-Wan's good.
Obi-Wan was the shite. So
Yeah.
I would say Obi-Wan, Andor, and now.
So
I was
apparently-
partial to that only because that he's my favorite character.
I didn't look this up, but apparently I saw some people that were reviewing the series, and they were saying that the viewership is actually really low on this.
Yes,
I heard
and
that too.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I do want to get into this because I think that simultaneously the Star Wars fandom is the best and the worst fandom.
Agreed.
In the world. Now,
Star Trek fan.
Here's the fandom as I see it. You've got our generation, Gen X, who went through episodes 4, 5, and 6. For us, this is where it started, right? Now, unfortunately, you have a lot of Gen Xers that are stuck in 1977 to 1983, and they can't get past it.
Yeah.
And so anything new Star Wars that comes along, they have just made up their minds that they're not going to like it.
And because it's messing with the books. I want to just throw that out there.
Well,
And I think that
I agree. I agree with what you're saying. And look, that we can have a whole argument about what should
another
and
time.
shouldn't be canon. I get it. Here's the thing, and I say this with the full knowledge that Disney is this gigantic company that probably could track my ass down and send a team of killers after me should they choose to do so.
As long as they're all dressed like Mickey
As
Mouse.
long as they're all dressed like Mickey Mouse. Thank you. I'm going to cut your throat. Do you know what a Colombian necktie is?
Hey guys.
Anyway.
Hey guys. I'm gonna take your nuts and I'm gonna squeeze them in my hands.
Yeah. It is not in Disney or Lucasfilm's interest to make something that they think is just going to make them money. So it's in their interest to do quality shows with quality writing. You don't always hit a home run, but damn it, I kind of feel like they did on this one.
on this one,
Well,
yeah.
the one thing I appreciate about this is, Dave Filoni has become like kind of the godfather of Star Wars.
Is
right?
that what you
Yes.
appreciate about it?
That's what I appreciate about it. We are in agreement.
Your terms are acceptable.
Your sister's hot.
There, I said it. I said it.
Too fat to run. But okay, Letterkenny in space would be hilarious.
Well, part of that's in Firefly.
I am going to pitch that to Jared
That's coming.
Kiso tonight.
Yeah, right.
I am going to send him a DM. I'm going to slide into his DMs.
Right.
I'm like, Letterkenny in space,
You gotta
bud.
do it, man. Yeah.
We can figure it out.
Yeah, they get
Figured it out.
these moisture farmers, these hicks from Tatooine. But anyway,
Gens.
what was I talking about? I totally forgot.
Dave Filoni, Godfather of
Dave
Star
Filoni.
Wars.
What I appreciate about it was that they worked so closely with Dave Filoni to ensure that this story fit in the Star Wars
Right.
universe, right? And they were
Favreau had
sm-
a credit too.
Oh, yeah.
Did
But-
he
yeah.
have some input?
Oh, always. mean,
And I
it's
think
Filoni and Favreau, right?
Bryce Dallas Howard directed a couple episodes.
I
Did
think
she
you're
not?
right.
Probably.
I
Yeah,
think you're
probably.
right.
Yeah, she did so great in The Mandalorian.
Oh my God.
So I mean, I appreciate that because they were smart enough to go, hey, there was this show that was the most popular Star Wars show ever that came out in season 1, Mandalorian. People went insane over. Let's work with those guys and get some input,
Yep.
and make this work. And I think that was extremely smart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. And I love it when filmmaking and television production is truly a collaborative effort. Unfortunately, and I'm quoting Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails here, who said of the technology available to every single person in the world now regarding making music, anybody can make an album in their mom's basement. Does that mean there's a lot of great new shit coming down the pipe? No. It still helps to have something to say. Right. And the same is true of television and filmmaking. And no matter how much you've got independent people who are bound and determined to make their own thing and do it their way, and they're going to see their vision through, and they've got the technology to do that, the best television and film is still a collaborative effort. And that means building on stuff that has come before. That means getting the sense and feel and heart of something that you loved and going to those guys and saying, here's our idea, and we want it to feel like your idea. Right. That's the best. That is the best of all possible worlds.
Well said.
Yep. I'm gonna nerd out on a little fact here, and then I'm gonna ask this question. Did you guys notice when they got to the pirate colony, the ferryman that had to take them over?
Yes.
Okay. The race of the ferryman?
I don't remember the name of it, but I've seen it.
They're called teak.
Teak.
And you know where we saw the first teak? 1980s Star Wars TV movies.
Battle of Endor.
Oh my gourd.
Yeah.
Battle of Endor.
Yeah.
What a callback.
Right.
You know what actually kind of threw me is that Neil's race I always thought was the same as Max Rebo. And I read online that it's not.
It's not. It's like an elephant. I mean, there's even a point where they make like an elephant sound.
Well, and
yeah, but Max Rebo looked like a blue elephant too. So
but the trunk part is different. This appendage is a little different,
right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't.
Max
Rebo didn't have the ears.
I thought that was the prosthetics of the 80s.
At the time when I saw it, I thought the same thing you did, but then I started to think about, because literally my nerd brain went, well, he's a kid, so maybe it gets more bulbous as he gets older. I don't know.
You see his dad later.
Yeah.
And he's got tusks.
Yeah.
Did we ever identify his race? Did they ever tell us? Is it online somewhere?
I'm sure some nerd somewhere has got that information.
I figured Brent had that in the back of his brain.
I know. They're elephant people.
All right. Elephant people.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with that wonderful movie with John Hurt, the Elephant Man, who looked nothing like Neil, by the way, or his parents.
No.
So that was a very different
That was very
thing.
sad. Way to bring down the party.
No, come on, man. It was a classic film.
And that was Eric Stoltz.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Oh, Mask. That was Mask.
That's the Mask.
That was Mask. Yeah.
Another depressing
not
film.
Backtrack.
Not The Mask. That's a different movie.
Mask.
Right.
It's just called Mask.
Right.
Yeah.
Mask.
Like, who starred in it? Cher.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. Okay, so here's my question.
Here's your question.
Hit it.
Season 2 of Skeleton Crew.
Yes.
One could argue that they kind of button up the story. However, they did leave something hanging, which what happens with John Nanawood, right?
Yep. Right.
So season 2, there, I've been seeing stories about there's all kinds of speculation out there about what season 2 would be about. What do you think season 2 would be about?
Well, speaking as someone who works in television and film, my first practical thought is, I know it's weird, right? I know.
This is new information.
Brand new information.
have kept this from you. I know you guys thought I just flipped burgers at McDonald's, and I still do that. I also work in television.
The Burger
and film.
King's a lot closer to your house. I would know.
Yes, you would. But I'm also a big fan of Popeye's chicken, so which is right next door to that Burger
Pope
King.
Yes?
Yeah, Pope yes.
Pope yes. Chicken.
Because of unfortunately,
You'll never be under to see that.
Disney is a slave, like every other streaming service, to the whims of the audience. And unless there is enough of people like us who said Skeleton Crew season 1 was amazing, we totally want a season 2, they simply won't do it. They'll move on to the next idea.
ADHD moment. You ever notice when Larry says a word that has an AU in it, he suddenly talks like he's from Brooklyn? Because
now I'm going.
Yeah.
Yes, now I do, but now
Yeah.
I'm going to be paying special attention because you're going to see me do this from now on.
How's that go again?
Hold on.
Okay, cool. And now I'm going to take my AUs even further.
that's right.
Because I want to see that reaction.
That's right.
So let's get back to your question. What if there were a season 2, and we really, really, really hope there is,
Please.
what would the storyline be?
Okay, I would like to believe I still have this little spark in my heart that there is some redemption for Jod.
Okay, so I want to just build on that for a second. Did you notice how at the very end of the series He didn't kill everybody.
No.
He actually stated out loud,
Yeah.
I don't want to kill anybody.
Right.
And when it came down to actually folding, he did.
He just stood there and watched.
He just stood there. He did not.
Oh.
Hit it.
Sorry. No. Did you see when the B-Wings came in? My favorite ship.
Oh my gosh,
in Star
that
Wars universe.
weapon!
Oh my gosh.
That weapon!
They're just like all four
Yes.
lasers just like, it's like a little mini Death Star. And
It
they're
was.
just tearing up that pirate ship.
Yes.
Oh,
Freaking amazing.
so cool.
To go further with the story, Jod's story in particular, have you guys heard about the deleted scene?
No.
There was a deleted scene
Because?
where we flashed back to him with his Jedi, and he was apprenticing.
Right.
Oh.
It wasn't Shakti, was it?
It wasn't Shakti.
Who's died like 5 different ways in
Yes,
Star Wars.
wasn't Shakti.
Poor
But apparently, in the flashback was the moment where either, depending on who you talk to, the Jedi said, "You're never going to be a good Padawan. I reject you." Or on his own, Jod said, "I reject the teachings of the Jedi."
Right.
So he had clearly been having some training, and there came a moment of separation between him and his master.
I had no idea about this.
They deleted that scene. Yeah, you can find it out there on the interwebs.
I think that the mystery of whether he had Jedi training or not was actually something that I was really enjoying about the show, not knowing the ambiguity of whether he was trained by Jedi or just Force sensitive and never found.
Right.
Well, then he said it.
Did he?
He did say.
What did he
did.
say? What did he say?
He said he had actually been training with a Jedi.
Yeah, he'd found a Jedi, and then he watched as she got killed, and
Yeah.
So the whole
Yes,
storyline.
okay,
So the whole
okay.
storyline of Jod is, excuse me, he had a rough childhood,
Right.
right, and that's why he's so cynical and tainted against the universe and stuff. It's because he's had to fight for everything he ever
taint.
got. I mean, did I say taint?
You said taint.
I said tainted.
He said tainted. He didn't say
Tainted.
taint.
Taint.
Oh my gosh, Micah, don't be 12.
Welcome to 5th grade.
Have you even met me?
Welcome to 5th grade.
Anyways.
But anyway, so anyway, you understand his character. He's had to fight for everything. So that's why in season 2, I think that they could go with a redemption storyline for him because he's starting to see that's not the way you have to be. I mean, all he's ever seen in the universe is he's had to fight for every scrap of thing he's ever had. He ends up in a pirate crew, for goodness sake. He ends up leading a pirate crew. Then they mutiny because he can't bring them, money. And money is scarce out in the universe, right? And the home of Ad-Atten is like the thing of fables, right? It's just like the thing of stories. Like, where is it? And they don't even realize that they're living on a planet that's the mint for the Republic.
Clear
Yeah.
something
Well,
up for me.
the adults do, but they keep talking about the great work.
Well, I'm talking about the kids, yeah.
Yeah, so the kids
don't
have
even
no
realize
idea.
it, the great
Yeah.
work, right?
I need something cleared up for me because them being the mint for the New Republic, and the New Republic is only 5 years old, but this planet has been hidden for
Yeah.
years?
No, they were actually, because they're the Republic Daitaris. So you remember...
Are you talking about that these are actual Republic credits?
Yeah, the Republic Daitaris.
Like from before the
So,
Empire?
I mean, you remember in...
Before the Empire.
In Phantom Menace, right? In Phantom Menace,
Yeah.
where Qui-Gon's like, Republic Daitaris will do fine,
Yes.
right? Well, that's what they're making. For those.
No, they won't.
Yeah. Very good.
Thank
That's
you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Jedi tricks want to work on me.
Yeah, way to try to upstage me, man. It didn't work.
I'm not
What's
upstaging.
his-
I'm just joining the party.
Oh my gosh.
What the hell's wrong with you?
But anyway,
Try to belong.
So insecure.
Oh, fudge.
you know what pisses Micah off?
You know what pisses me off?
I do now.
I'll tell you what
That's
pisses me off.
AUFF.
Trying to be part of
Michael off.
trying to be part of the fudging party, and you can't be a part of the party because Larry's got to step on Micah.
Yes,
All right.
I own that.
Anyway,
100%.
okay, so anyway, yes,
So the
so-
Tataris are part of the old.
Yeah.
That's an old Republic mint. Not
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Old Republic is many thousands of years before.
Right.
So that is Republic mint.
Yeah.
It is
Yep.
contained. It
Yep.
is hidden.
And they have no idea what's happened in the world.
And the
right?
Empire is
so,
happening.
So
Yeah.
when Jod finally goes up to the what they call him, the overseer? No, what do they call him?
Supervisor.
the supervisor. Right.
Yes.
And it turns out to be just a giant bot. Right?
Which wonderful attitude of
I
a
know,
bot.
right? But I love it when he says to Jod, he says, "Which one are you lying about?"
What are you lying about? Yeah.
Because Jod's pretending.
good.
Jod's pretending to be the emissary,
Right.
right? And I just love it when he goes, "Which one are you lying about?"
And one of the things
it's
I
so
really
great.
loved about that is when they started walking in and everything was covered with dust, I was like, oh, it's being run by a droid. And they started walking in. I was like, this has got to be either there's no droid up there and everybody thinks there's a supervisor, but then this massive machine turns on. The only thing that pissed me off was that they didn't have some sort of a force field around his damn eye.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
One lightsaber to the eyeball and you're done?
And that's it.
Shut down the whole city?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look what Dorothy did with the wizard.
But so
That's true.
Actually, technically, Toto did that to the
Another
wizard.
Yeah, I mean,
Another
you
great
get
story
yourself a
point.
super soaker and you got yourself a win.
just okay. All right.
Come on, that was funny.
It was
funny.
So what I love about this too is you have these people that are set in their ways, right?
Yeah.
And if you know me at all, there's a phrase that just turns my insides and makes me, I have to count to 10 so I don't just immediately throat punch you. But if you ever say to me, because that's the way we've always done it,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's in part of your developer brain.
It is, right? But all these people are doing it because that's the way they've always done it.
Right.
And even when it comes to the end, so Jod comes in, he pretends to be the emissary, right? Because he wants to steal all the credits. And the emissary, by the way, if you haven't seen the show, is every once in a while the Republic would send an emissary to this planet, which nobody knew where it was, and it's got a force field surrounding it, so you can't get to it unless you have either an emissary ship or you have the codes to get in.
Yeah.
And turns out the pirate ship that they had was actually an emissary ship, and you didn't know it because it was covered in armor,
Right.
Until the episode where it
And
pulls
that
out
was
of the
so
armor,
that,
right?
And the armor was so that they could actually punch through
Right.
the defensive
And that's
shields,
what
right?
happened to what's it called, the Onyx Cinder? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what happened to the last pirate that tried it. Was he tried to do that and he crashed on the planet.
What
That's
a
what it was.
great name, by
Right,
the way.
Onyx Cinder, yeah.
And that was totally One-Eyed Willie.
Yeah,
I've named my Subaru the Onyx Cinder.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. Just wanted to share that.
I've
with
named my
everybody.
Pathfinder Neil.
Neil. Yes.
But anyway, so
The heart.
What I loved was even in the last episode. So you have the kids going. They need to turn off the shields so the New Republic can get in there to deal with the pirates. And her mom, who's high up, is kinda
Fern's mom.
Yeah, Fern's mom. Fern's mom, who's kind of like the mayor or whatever. She's like, she doesn't want to turn that because it's been so ingrained in her since she was a kid. You don't turn off the shield, right? Because who knows what's going to come get us? And they're like, but we can't get help if we don't turn that off. So just watching that struggle when they're just everybody's just going for that handle, trying to pull the handle to turn the dang shield off.
Yeah.
And it was like breaking everything she ever knew to pull that handle.
Again, you can't beat good writing.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was so good.
So good.
Do you guys feel like you're on the second, third? Because
I don't think I think I'm starting the second, third.
Well, you guys know me. I mean, I'm probably getting there.
Micah's starting on
Micah Puff Donahoe. Puff Daddy.
Puff, no give.
Okay, so one of the other things I really loved about it was Brutus. I love the character Brutus, right?
Wait, remind me.
Well, he's the one. So the only time we saw Brutus before was in the cantina scene in Star Wars. He was the wolf guy.
Oh, yes.
He's the new pirate captain.
Right.
And so I
know
love
that was his name.
I love that you get to see like a fully developed character in this series. That's so cool. And I love you get to see kind of how the inside of the pirate. I mean, all the pirates care about is they want to get the booty, right? That's all they care about. And not the booty, but the money booty.
Well, but also the booty.
Because that needed clarification.
Because they're not 90s rappers,
But aren't they?
but kind of. But it's just,
I just thought all 90s rappers were actually pirates who just went into a different line of work.
right. Yeah. And they just renamed to booty. But
Pirate's very subjective.
But so I love that you get to see the inside of that whole culture of the pirates. That was really cool too. I loved how they just like let you on the inside and get to see.
Oh
all
my
that.
gosh, you get this deep dive into Star Wars pirates. I mean, because pirates have always just been mild antagonists.
Right.
Not even a bad guy. Just something to get in the way of whatever they're trying to accomplish.
Well, the first time you got a good look at those was in Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
even not as deep as you do. I mean, it was all in space, and you were just seeing shots. You were seeing ships come out and stuff, but you weren't on the ship in the culture.
yeah.
Right. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I actually, while I was watching it, I was sitting there trying to make parallels with the Ravengers, and I decided that no, they're not, because that's Marvel pirates.
Yeah.
Ravengers are Marvel pirates, and this was almost 16th, 17th century
And
pirate.
they're definitely not reavers.
No, they don't eat people much. I'm sure they do a little though.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about
You said something about the what would you like to see in the second season?
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't get to touch on that. So I thought to myself a little bit far-fetched because John, is that his name?
Jod.
Jod.
had a
Jod Nanawud.
like he had a line that he wouldn't cross. Right? He threatened to kill, but he didn't go kill.
Right.
Right? And even when it came down to the moment where he could, either kill himself or kill everybody in the room,
Well-
try and make off with as many credits, he decided not to.
No.
So that tells me that maybe he could go Gray Jedi.
There's a scene, if you remember, where Brutus is caught up in the armature from the Onyx Cinder, and he's just hanging there. Mm-hmm. And Jod just walks up to him and just shoots him in the head.
That's pirate to pirate shit, though.
Pirate on pirate crime?
No, pirate to pirate shit.
It doesn't count.
and the fact that he made that decision so quickly, I was like, yeah. But he has a moral compass when it came to kids and the innocent.
Right.
It's like, all I really want is your money.
Right.
And in the end, he didn't actually kill anybody for the money.
Right.
He just kind of conceded. That's why I was thinking that maybe a season 2 would be kind of cool to see them expand on the pirate stuff. But the problem is that part of the allure of the first season is the kids.
Right.
So I don't see how they can exclude the kids from the adventures.
Well, so the way I see it, there's two ways it could go in season 2, right? Either it's the redemption story of Jod Nanawud, or he won't change. He gets put in jail on Ad-Atner, or the Republic takes him, whatever. He escapes, tries to get back, and then the kids are involved in that again.
But he's going to get out again. I mean, he's totally Rocket.
Yeah, because he's
No prison can hold him.
no prison.
No prison can hold him.
There's no one like me.
So here's the thing that I thought was interesting, and I think I don't know if I can draw any parallels to 4, 5, and 6, but it seemed in the new Star Wars films, and then subsequently in some of the new TV shows, specifically Skeleton Crew, they introduced characters to sort of help with exposition, and they're new characters, and they're sidelines, but they do help sort of tie the story together. The one in Skeleton Crew was Kim, the owl.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Yeah, no, I did too.
I really
so
like that
she's sort of
character.
like a space librarian,
With
right?
a cat. She had cat whiskers.
Yeah,
But she could fly and look like an
but
owl.
she also
No, yeah,
very
she
much
looked like
reminded
she
me.
looked like a great horn, but not quite so big.
She
as a
reminded
great
me in
horn.
789 of who was the short
Maz Kanata.
Maz Kanata. Yes,
Maz Kanata.
Didn't she remind you a little bit of not in terms of I'm
little.
going to help you get forward in your journey.
Yeah, but Maz Kanata was more militaristic. She was a fighter.
That's true, but she was kind of bridged. I think that what Larry is. kinda
That's a
getting-
great
she
word,
kinda-
bridge. The bridge.
She helps kind of facilitate. I mean, she knew exactly who Jod was.
Yeah. And she tried, and again, I love it that everyone they ran into, he's not a good guy, I don't trust him. And so you're going, oh, he's just playing a part, and at the end he's going to redeem himself, and then it just doesn't, and I just love it.
Yeah,
That is so great.
I thought
Yeah.
that was great.
Yeah.
I was like, don't redeem.
Oh, he's actually a bad guy.
Right.
Or he's a mildly, morally subjective kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again,
Oh, no.
I don't
what's
want to.
the-
I don't
again-
want to call him a bad guy.
well, but
Morally
again-
flexible.
morally flexible.
Okay,
That's what I was.
But
going
again,
for.
what I love is they give him enough backstory, just in that brief moment where they explain, I was trained by a Jedi and they got killed, and I watched as they got killed, and I've had to fight for. So you understand him, right? He's a scrappy kid from the street, kind of like Han Solo, kind of.
Yeah.
But Han Solo was basically a pirate.
He was
Oh
indeed.
yeah.
Yeah, and so you kind of get to see his backstory, and so you understand the character, which is what I love. They're not just going, well, he's just this random bad guy. You actually understand, stories that explain the origin stories about how people become what they are.
Yeah.
right? And you can totally identify with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I
Yes.
think you hit on something really important, is that we have always been exposed to piracy, the Han Solo and Chewie thing, especially when it got into 7, 8, and 9, and you get to see the interactions between Han, Chewie, and people that Han is pissed off.
Right. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
and how you get out of it, because Jod has the exact same.
The ability to talk his way out of
Exactly.
anything.
That was one of the things I was enjoying the most about the characters, that
Yeah.
he's getting into a real crap situation and he found a way through. And it didn't feel like BS just to get to the next scene.
Right.
I was convinced.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna make a parallel now to that kind of character written for television. I don't know if you guys have started watching it yet, but there's a series on Max called Penguin.
Oh yeah, heck yeah!
I haven't seen it yet.
It is. So
I got to
good.
resubscribe.
Have
It is
you
so good.
Have you seen The Batman?
Yes.
All right, so it's
in that universe?
It's in that universe. So we actually meet the Penguin in that movie. His name is Oz, played by Colin Farrell. You, completely
That
unrecognizable.
makeup job.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen it.
Completely
I was amazed.
unrecognizable. However, I highly recommend Penguin. I'm only 2 episodes in, but I absolutely love it.
No, it's great.
And because he is exactly that character. Because he's exactly that character. He will get into the tightest, life-threatening situation, and within a few moments of dialogue, he's managed to talk his way out of it.
Okay,
Big.
again.
Boom. Ow. My microphone attacked me.
Because again, you get to see in that series, and I know you're only a few episodes in, but you get to see his backstory, his origin story.
Yeah.
Where again, you identify with that, and you can understand where he's coming from and why he is the way he is. Right.
Yeah.
He's also psychotic as hell.
Oh, absolutely.
So that has a.
But again, so to me, what makes great writing is characters that initially you think you're going to despise that you wind up empathizing with.
Right.
And for Jadanawa, totally did.
Right.
I did
Totally
too.
did. You're just like, oh, come on, it's a bad choice, man. Come on, you can do better.
Yeah.
You can do better.
Yeah.
And you want him to do better.
We
you
need
know?
to talk about the best supporting character in that series,
Which was
SM33.
yes.
Oh my gosh, such a great droid. Such a great droid. So when Rogue One came out, that repurposed
The Imperial droid, yes.
Yeah.
Imperial
Alan
droid.
Tudyk. Yeah.
Yes, the
Yeah.
one.
Was that who that was?
Yes.
That's who voiced that. Alan Tudyk.
They seriously synthesized his voice because I would never have guessed that.
It was totally him. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that I started. So I've always been in love with droids.
You know what the odds are that she'll use that on you? They're high. It's very high. I love that. I love that line. It's so funny.
And you can almost see is like it's high.
Yeah.
It's really.
Love it.
You want a fresh one?
But I
Reese
love
Maxim?
Yeah. I love the I love his character because it's a droid with a pirate voice. And it's Nick Frost.
It's Nick
Yeah.
Frost.
And it's just amazing. He is so good.
And you
I don't
keep the-
remember no Ad-Atten.
Yeah, I thought I remember no ad.
No, it
He
was.
says it over and over again.
so fantastic, and he's an ass kicker too.
Yeah.
that was so great.
Yeah. And I love that there's a mouse living in his head.
I know. Yeah, constantly like out in.
And it becomes like Neil's pet by the end.
I know.
Yes. Neil saves him.
It was adorable.
Okay, we're definitely in the second third now.
Yes,
Yes.
we're in
So
the second
come on,
third.
let's talk about this
Yeah, let's
cigar.
talk.
So
Well,
I've
we
already
didn't
taken
lead-
my band off.
We didn't lead into it. You know,
Well, he did the generic lead in.
we
That's
had,
okay.
we had to do something.
I mean,
we had to do something.
droids don't smoke cigars,
SM30,
but if
yeah.
they did,
There you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
lame.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's like that's almost a dad joke right there. So sorry for that segment, by the way. We'll try to do better.
All right, so I'm getting a very, very, very mild pepper. I think it has something to do with the heat only.
You're saying mild, and I'm getting a little more than mild pepper.
Yeah?
I'm getting
Yeah.
I'm getting a decent spice. on
The
this
the
one now.
retro hell is very spicy right now.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still in that baker's chocolate and the smooth, creamy mouthfeel.
Oh.
There is absolutely no sweetness anymore.
Are you getting the tobacco?
Here we go.
If I only had that ostrich right now.
This is clearly a strong cigar because I'm feeling very mellow, and it's only partially due to the scotch.
Oh, I'm digging it.
This is a good one.
This one is right up my alley, and I think that it has something to do with that San Andreas wrapper.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well-
because every single time that I have a cigar with a San Andreas wrapper, I am in such a happy
Well,
place.
I love how we inadvertently did it again. We have a nice strong cigar and a nice smooth scotch.
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes it all comes together.
It's all breakfast.
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 Breffis. Breffis.
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
No, breakfast.
Back set.
Breakfast.
Breakfast back set.
Apple bread.
Attaboy. I got him. I got him.
Got him.
I got him.
You did. Dick.
You're welcome. All right. I'm just going to ask. I think I know the answer already, but for both of you, favorite character out of Skeleton Crew?
SM. SM. He was so great. I mean, I love everything that he added to it. He was in every pinnacle moment of a turning point in the show. And especially, like, for instance, when SM reacted after Fern said unclaimsies.
Right.
He's like, works. Boom.
Yeah. John, that's like, that's not the pirate code. Close enough.
Bam. Oh my gosh, the decision making of droids in the Star Wars universe, so good. I want to see SM and R2 on their own mission.
Yeah. I would say SM too, but if I had to say one of the non droid characters, it would be Neil for me. I just loved it. He was always, because his innocence made him funny.
He did,
Yeah.
Right.
But he wasn't a coward.
He wasn't a coward.
That was
Not
one
at
of
all.
the greatest thing for
Yeah.
for how wholesome.
I mean,
that
he goes and
character
he
was.
opens up that turbo laser and shoots at the
Yeah.
shoots at the pirates, right? And then he's
I
like,
will shoot
and then he
the
sees the pirates target him. He's like, ah, crap.
Look at you, Neil. You can be a murderer and still be wholesome.
That's right. That's right.
Way to go.
Honestly, for me, it was KB.
Oh, okay.
So I just love the there was a bit of a dichotomy to that character because she's, the sidekick to Fern. So she's got this veneer of, yeah, we're cool and we're tough and we whatever.
Right.
But then we see that after she's split from her best friend, and it's her and Wim, and we have that very what's the word I'm looking for? Revealing moment or where she
Climax.
shuts down. And she's basically helpless.
Yeah.
And he has to figure out how to save her.
Yeah.
And so now we see her humanity.
Right.
And then, of course, at the very end
Or
there,
lack of.
where she's the one who, basically gets the ship and then crashes it. And we see her, we see all these credits come tumbling down and she comes in after it.
Right.
And everybody's so concerned.
Yeah.
Because if I'm being honest, the Goonies, Data was my favorite character.
Totally.
So
a great character.
By the way, he's in a new movie by himself. Where he's
Love Hurts.
Yeah, I can't wait to see
I
that.
cannot wait
Yeah.
to see that film. He
But,
finally is a leading man.
So what are you saying? Lack of humanity with KB? What did you mean by that?
Oh, because when they actually have to repair the back of her head, you see how far the technology extends into her body and into her brain.
But do you think it makes her less human?
I don't think it makes sense.
No. I don't mean less human.
But that's what you said.
Okay. All right, then I'll roll with it. Because of the fact that she has all of these qualities, but we also see the dynamic of droids and their personalities and how dynamic they are, their decision-making capabilities. Even with SM, like saying, like whatever the pirate code was, it wasn't a program. It wasn't like, if this, then this. It was actually, okay, unclaimsies.
There was some leeway there.
There was leeway. There was
Yeah.
flexibility.
Right.
And she, as a human, or not Terran.
I think that's
She was
part of
on-
what made
well,
her
well, she was
vulnerable was that she was dependent on that technology for her life.
Yes, but the fact that when they were replacing that part in the back of her head, it showed just how far the technology extended. Because if you look at the part that they were doing and the ejection port of that the fact that went in so far,
Yeah.
that occupied a good portion of her skull.
Well, next you're going to say Lobot wasn't human.
He wasn't. Oh, Lobot, who cares?
Yeah.
Lobot.
He had more.
Who cares?
He had less personality than a protocol droid.
He had no personality and he had no lines.
That's what I'm saying. Not human.
We can go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to say that I know I'm not in the final third yet, and I know you're getting close, and Micah.
I'm in the final third.
But I'm going to say that this cigar has not changed a lot for me,
Yeah,
which again is a quality we love in cigars.
interesting.
Consistency.
Right. Consistency.
Consistency is
Yeah.
key.
Yeah, that slight peppery. I'm not getting that heavy peppery that you're talking about before. It's just
I wouldn't say heavy pepper. I'm getting a lot more spice.
spice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I will say that if you take a drink and then a draw, the flavor is just, it's so mellow.
Breakfast.
Yeah.
Very mellow. Indeed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get
All right.
some breakfast right now.
Thanks, Elvis.
peanut butter sandwich.
Oh, man.
Peanut butter banana
Peanut
sandwich.
butter, banana, and honey. I don't work on January the 8th because that's Elvis's birthday. Well, hey, guys. Before this goes completely sideways, thank you for tuning in to the very first episode of Season 2.
We're back, baby.
Of Nerdherfers. We are indeed back. Want to thank all of our friends right here at Industrial Cigar Company. Thank you to Andrew and all of the staff for making us feel so incredibly welcome. Thank you to our producer, Chris Hockenberry, who made this all happen. He's behind the camera because that's where he prefers to be. But he's given us the sign right now, so we know that's good. And we are going to be broadcasting our next episode right here from Industrial, so we hope you'll tune in. Hope you enjoyed this conversation about Star Wars Skeleton Crew. Say again. Go ahead.
Next week. What are we talking about next week?
Yeah.
What are we talking about now? Oh!
Epiphany.
Next week.
Wayne!
Wayne!
You guys are polyamorous.
Where are my pants?
I can't say. You see what I have to deal with?
Right.
You see what I have to work with?
Deal with it.
Next week, we're going to be talking about a topic that is near and dear to all of our hearts. 90s fads.
That's right.
Everything from fashion to music to tech, all of it. So you're going to want to tune into that one. We'll be right here at Industrial Cigar Company. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the conversation last night. Hey, if you are not currently a member of the Nerdherfers Nation, and yeah, Micah gets credit for Nerdherfers Nation, it's alliterative and also it sounds cool. All you have to do is go out to nerdherfers.com.
Do you need this?
I don't.
Wait, what just happened?
Brent needs this.
I don't need it.
Brent came
I don't
up
need
with
it.
it.
Micah can have it. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. We're fine. Everything's fine.
I'm gonna get
Next week on Passive Aggressive Podcast. Whoever gets credit, yay. Everybody gets credit.
Wait. Yay!
Yay! We are going to be talking about 90s culture next week. Anyway, go out to nerdherfers.com, hit that subscribe button, tune in to our YouTube broadcast channel, youtube.com/nerdherfers. Easy to find. Join the community. Hit us up in the comments section. Let us know what you think about Star Wars Skeleton Crew. Actually,
it's /@Nerdherfers. That's how YouTube works. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. That was very important. So glad you
It is
did that.
important.
No, I said, isn't
that
what I said?
What are you
I
looking
said.
for? We don't get it.
I think that's what I said.
Yeah, okay.
Or you could just literally in the search bar, Nerdherfers.
Yeah.
That would also get
do
you
that.
to our channel.
Whatever.
Anyway.
Larry, would you wrap this up already?
I'm
seriously,
trying.
Jeez, Larry.
Would you both stop talking like droids all the time? That's Micah Donahoe.
Live long and prosper.
That's Brent Williams.
keep your shirt on.
And I'm Larry Brantley reminding you that Atten is a real place and you want to be there. We'll see you next time. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. This has been a production of Nerdherfers. Copyright 2025, all rights reserved. No portion of this broadcast may be used without permission. Please visit nerdherfers.com for more information and full legal disclaimer.